Jeffrey Powers at Geekazine CES 2026. We're here at the Bluetti booth, and it's all about power. Being able to power your home in an emergency, being able to power your RV, being able to power, I don't know, if you run a trick out, your mini scooter or something like that, your hoverboard with extra power to power the refrigerator, to power the air conditioner, to power the heater, to power whatever you need to power. That's where all this comes in. And this is the power system from Bluetti. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down the quick line here, and then I'm going to roam around the booth for a few seconds because there's some other stuff here from Bluetti that we want to talk about. We're going to start here. This is the Elite 320 and Elite 400 series. And I'm just going to get down on a knee here, and we're going to talk about this. I love this because of just the fact that it's on wheels, and you could take this anywhere. So you unload it off of your truck, off of your camper or whatever. You can take it out into the wilderness, hook up the TV, hook up the internet, hook up everything, and go from there. It's got long standby, and it's got ultra low idle power consumption at under 9 watts, and it can stay on standby for up to 15 days without draining it all. And of course, we have all the great features there. We got the power on. We got the USB ports, USB-C and USB-A. We've got what they used to call a cigarette lighter. Now it's called the utility port right there. Up here, looks like we got plugged. If you got a solar panel or anything like that, that's where you'd normally plug into. And then we've also got some 12-volt DC output options here. Over here, we've got 120 US standard plugs, 4 of them at 120. I would guess that if this is outside the United States, they would fix the plug system for that country. Let's see how heavy it is. Take down the handle here, and I'll lift. That's definitely a 2-hander right there. So this is about 60 pounds of weight. And of course, we have the wheel system, so we can simply just wheel it back into place without having to lift it up and then bring it back down. So that's pretty cool there. That's the 320. 320 is $12.99, $14.99 for the Elite 400. Now, the difference between the 320 and the 400 is the wattage. Of course, this is 1,800 watts with 3,200 watts hours. And then this is 2,600 watts with 3,840 watt hours. You can also connect it up via your apps, iOS or Android. And they got a little QR code on the top to get you into the app. So you can check while you're in the shower or something like that, making sure you have enough power to heat the water to take the shower. We're gonna talk first of all about this. This is some of the home solutions for protection for your, if the power goes out, you storm or whatever, hot, cold, you'll be protected here. We're gonna start with the Energy Pro 13K. It's a whole home energy solution. I can speak, yes. It's got 13.2 kilowatt output, 22 kilowatt PV input, 200 amp pass through, and 150 LRA, which is load start, basically. So that's each of these units. And we have right here, we have 4 of these units. And of course, they can be stacked and then married together. So that basically will cover your whole home. Maybe if you're running the stove and you're running the refrigerator and you're running the air conditioner, you're running the TV, you got to have the internet. You got to make sure that your phones are charging. That's what this is going to do. This type of wall will give you enough power for 3 days worth of juice in your home in an emergency. Now let's move on from here. We're going to go over to this part right here. This is one of the AT1 Smart Distribution panels. And let's go ahead and open that up. So basically, this is the power. This is going to be your grid for this unit right here. So you could actually power everything on, put all the plugs in here, just like your regular circuit panel at home. You'll be able to turn on and off batteries, and so you can change them out or charge them up or whatever through this panel right here. So if you got a stack of 3 batteries, that's $14.99. You put in the distribution panel, it's going to be another $12.99. Plus, you're going to have an electrician taking a look at this to make sure that everything is powered correct. But then you'll be safe. And all you have to do, you'll have this set up in your basement or something like that. Then you'll just, all you have to do is go to this panel and flip a switch rather than have to deal with those packs individually. And the last thing here is this is an Energy Pro 6K Smart Home energy solution right here. It's got 5.7 to 28.6 kilowatts of power, 7.8 to 38.4 kilowatt hours, and it works on or off the grid, and it does what's called split phase. So with split phase, you can charge it and you can take the power from there. So it inverts and then sends out. So if you're in an emergency and let's say you do have this plugged into, like, let's say your truck, which is trying to charge up the batteries, it can then pass through this, and then you can still keep the refrigerator running. You can still keep the internet going and the air conditioner going. Also keep in mind the Energy Pro 6K is an all-in-one unit. So the batteries are in here. It's not like the stackable unit over there. So you have an all-in-one unit, so you could actually put that on a wall and down in your basement, in your garage, and it doesn't look like you got a big power system sitting in your garage or in your basement. Don't knock over the coffee. Simple as that. Next up here, what we have is basically the Apex 300. And we have several different Apexes, but this is the whole home system where the Apexes are on the Bluetti Hub A1. There's a lot of juice coming through here. You have your main 240 right here that goes into the Bluetti, and that's going to charge that, but then this will send it out to the batteries. This will go from the batteries to the sub panel right here. You can kind of see the idea that they have set up in this staging thing. So you could add batteries, you could take out batteries as you go. And then let's say you're on the go, you're going to get ready to go on an adventure. You could take one of these units with you. You could set it, turn it off from the rest of the group, and then take this with you to on your RV or on your camper or whatnot as you go. If you need to power your refrigerator or your air conditioner or anything like that, that's where this part comes in. This is the Slim Power unit, and this was one of the best of CES honorees right here, and the editor's choice for CES 2026. So this is the panel here that you could actually put behind a refrigerator. So it could be in the kitchen, it could be in the laundry room, and behind something so people don't see it, but it's there powering. So when the power does go out, you can go to your refrigerator, still get that cold can of Coke, and then move on from there. Is there a cold one in here? Oh, look at that. I got cold Cokes, and you got beer, and your beers needs to be nice and cool as you go. And your orange juice. And what do you got over here? We got some bananas. They need to stay cold. You got your milk for the cereal. That needs to stay cold. And that gets all powered through this thing right here. And so if, of course, I was talking about being in the RV, being charged, that's what this whole system is right here. And it's all starts with this thing right here. This is the E panel, and it's a smart distribution panel for your batteries. We got like the power hub over here. This is the RV5 power hub that basically is the hub of everything. Down here we have the B4810 48-volt batteries that's charging this whole thing, so we can bring it to the power, so the distribution panel can do its job, and then it takes it to this thing. This is the Epad right here. And with this Epad, it allows you to control all of this to see where the power is going. Because if you don't need the power on, you want to conserve it as best as possible, that's where you go from here. And then, of course, putting these on top, this is the PV100 FX. Putting these on top of your RV, they're pretty rigid. They have grommets on there. You can put this on top of your RV, and you can fix it, you can tape it down, you can glue it down. This does 100 watts. They don't have a 200 watt yet. Just stay tuned for that, though, and go from there. So that is the PV100 FX system, flexible solar panel, and this is the whole system for an RV setup. And that was everything at the Bluetti booth. We learned a lot about all the power options we have. If we've got an RV, how we can get our home set up for solar or just even for backup power for emergencies. I know I just got done talking with a friend that lives in California, and of course they're dealing with a lot of wet conditions and possibly road closures, so they won't be able to get people into the city and supplies into the city unless it's by helicopter. So power could go out at any moment, so being able to have that all backed up and ready to go is a very important thing. So that's what I love about it. So thanks to Bluetti for sponsoring that video. And of course, we've got more videos over at CES 2026. Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine, youtube.com/Geekazine, Thick Magazine, put in a geek. And of course, you can go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you know when the next video comes out. Until next time, you guys geek out, keep your house charged, and keep yourself safe. Take care.